Located 20 kilometers from the city centre of Nairobi, Kenyatta University is the second largest public university in Kenya, with about 40,000 students. Her long journey to attaining university status began in the 1970s, when the institution was still a constituent college of the University of Nairobi. Even at these early stages, Adventism was already active on campus. Through the initiative of the late Professor Macau and his family, the Seventh-day Adventist Church was formally organised within the campus in 1979, then with only 12 student members. As this group grew, students and lecturers started to negotiate with the administration to grant them leave on Sabbath to fellowship and worship in the university chapel, which at that time was exclusive to the Catholic community. During this period, students would invite pastors from outside to preach, or members themselves would volunteer. This continued until Kenyatta became a fully fledged university in 1985.
As the number grew and as the intake in the Kenyatta University continued expanding, there was a need to have a bigger hall where they could worship, because the chapel takes only about 500 students.
The number of Adventist students at Kenyatta University has been growing tremendously, and the present congregation consists of roughly 3,000 members. The majority of these are students. However, some staff members and individuals from the local community also regularly attend. The rapid growth of the Adventist Church in Kenyatta University can only be attributed to one thing: the tireless efforts by the Adventist students to reach out to their fellow students and share the good news of Jesus Christ with them.
The greatest task is to reach out to our fellow students. Adventists in the country are very many, and Adventist institutions therefore cannot accommodate all of the Adventist students, and so most of them still end up in public institutions like KU. KU alone has a capacity of 40,000 students in general, entirely including the constituent colleges, and as a church we've organized to have our churches in all of these institutions of KU, all the branches. In the main campus alone, we have so many students, and you realize that even as now, we've not yet been able to reach to all of them who are within the campus.
We want to make it our project that we want to reach the other 90% of the students here so that they can receive this gospel, because that is what we need to, before we go out there, we also need to preach to our members.
The character of Adventist students at Kenyatta University is commendable, a fact that even the university administration has been keen to notice.
SDA students are well behaved, they are well mannered. When we have riots here at the university, the SDA students don't participate. They are good students, they are known to be good students, calm, kind, and responsible. So given that gesture, I guess I would imagine the university will want more students to be like the SDA students.
With the ever-increasing number of Adventist members, there was need for an even bigger room to hold Sabbath services. It is this need that pushed the students to launch the ambitious project of constructing a sanctuary that would accommodate their growing number.
What we were envisioning was to have a chaplain center which had a sanctuary for worship, a pastor's house, a guest wing, a library, and a multi-purpose hall. And the entire project was envisioned to take about 77 million as of 2000, but by now it's gone up, probably is about 90 million, close to 100.
Following the good rapport between the Adventist students and the university administration, their request to be allocated a piece of land for construction of a sanctuary was granted in the year 2002. Being allocated a piece of land to construct a church for the Lord was good news for the Adventist community of Kenyatta University. But there was one challenge: funding the project. Since then, the students have been using all available means to raise funds for the construction of the church. 10 years down the line, the structure of the church-to-be remains just that, a structure.
Almost every Sabbath we have to tell students we're collecting funds for the building. So you find some of them now have ceased from coming because they feel that every time they come they have to give out something, and There are students training also from the little pocket money that they have from the parents and from the help. So you find it's been a challenge to some of them, but still, because we have the mission and we have the project at heart, still we have to insist in collecting funds from them. We have been having challenges in the places that we worship, because the university can start a function and they come and take our hall, so we have to look for another hall, whereby students now others opt to go out. In fact, like the hall that we're currently using, it's not even enough for all the students. So most of them, other than coming to sit outside, they go out. And we believe by constructing this structure, we'll be able to accommodate many. So we believe by the time we complete, we'll have a better population in them and minister to them without any difficulty.
Having come this far, the students are not about to give up just yet. Despite the challenges, they are determined to see the church construction complete.
This is a big project that involves millions of shillings, and without faith, without prayer and trust, then you realize that not all of us can believe that we can do this. We've taken it not as a problem, but now as a challenge, and we are busy working on it. And we try to convince members that this church is going to be built by the few coins that we have. So it has to be us first. It's an act of worship that has to be inculcated in us. So as we worship, then we can do it.
If we build this church, it will be the biggest accomplishment ever we could have done in a secular university.
And I want to believe that this will go a long way to help our students who are Adventists to grow in the knowledge of God. And it will also be a great influence to non-Adventists who come to Kenyatta University and have already been influenced by the music they hear the Adventist groups sing on their graduations, and also the messages they hear during our camp meetings that we hold on campus.